his arms crossed casually over his chest. Thanks, I responded. It's an early birthday gift, and yeah, I'm into it.
What kind?
Portraits are my favorite, I told him as I fiddled with my lens cap, popping it off and on. But I'll take a picture of just about anything.
Why portraits?
Have you ever heard of Bianca Bridge? I could feel a smile growing on my face, and I didn't wait for the boy to answer. She's like the best photographer ever, and she does these amazing shots of people from all over the world. I'm actually in Chicago to visit her photo gallery.
He
said, tilting his head to the side.
Never heard of her.
Pushing away from the counter, he took a step toward me. The dog tag around his neck caught a beam of light from above, and it shimmered back and forth.
Mind if I have a look?
He asked and pointed at my camera. My fingers tightened around it, and I hesitated. I responded, not knowing what to say. The Starbucks employee trotted back into the room, clutching a carton of soy milk, and when I glanced back at the boy, he lifted an eyebrow at me as if to say, "Well?" Slowly, I nodded my head. In any other instance, I would have said no, but something about the boy was confident and charming. Plus, I wanted to see that smile again. I lifted the strap from around my neck, and he moved in to take the camera. As he did, his arm brushed against mine, making my skin prickle.
Like this?
He asked, and snapped a close-up of me. I found it hard not to grin. He was holding the camera all wrong and clearly had no idea what he was doing. "No," I said, reaching over to help. "You probably have to adjust the focus. Here, I'll show you." I put my hand on top of his and demonstrated how to move the lens. The boy looked up at me for a moment, my hand still over his. This close to him, I could see the thick lashes that surrounded his dark blue eyes, and my stomach flipped in circles. He moved the camera up to his face.
"Smile,"
he said, but I looked away and let my hair cascade in front of my face.
"What? The photographer doesn't like having her picture taken?"
he asked as he snapped another one. "Not really," I answered and took back my camera. Dropping the strap back around my neck, I held it in my hands and let out a huge breath. "I much prefer looking through the lens," I told him. I focused it on his face for a moment before swinging around to my right and capturing the barista at work. I held the camera up so he could look at the image on the screen. It's best when they don't know you're looking at them. That way you get the real stuff. Real is when it's the most beautiful.
"What if they know you're looking?"
He was closer now, and even though he had spoken in a barely there voice, I heard every word. Taking a deep breath, I counted to 3 in my head to work up some courage. Then I stepped back and focused the lens on him. He leaned in with an unwavering gaze, but with the camera between the boy and myself, he was less intimidating. I only saw a subject. My finger hit the button 3 times before I pulled away to study the portraits. They were easily the best pictures I'd taken in a long time. Finally, I answered him. "Those can be beautiful, too." His lips quirked up in a smile, but before he could respond, the barista finished his order. "All right, 1 cafe latte with soy," the woman said, handing the boy his drink. "Sugar's around the corner if you need it."
"Thank you,"
he told the woman, but he never glanced in her direction. He kept his eyes on me as he reached over and grabbed his drink. Finally, after 3 long seconds, he turned and made his way over to the sweeteners and stir sticks. "Sorry about the wait," the woman continued. "What can I get for you?" I gazed at her with parted lips. I had completely forgotten why I was even standing in Starbucks. "Hun?" she prompted me. "Right," I said, tucking a loose strand of hair behind my ear. Can I have a grande of your regular brew and a tall hazelnut macchiato?" "Anything else for you today?" "No, thank you." She pressed a few buttons on the register. "Okay, that will be $8.98. I pulled my wallet out of my purse and searched for a 10. "I know I have some cash in here somewhere," I muttered to myself. I didn't want to have to run back out to the car. That would be totally embarrassing. But all I could find was my plastic, and I was only allowed to use that in emergencies.
"I got it."
The boy slapped a 20 down on the counter and winked. My fingers fumbled as I looked between him and the money.